feel like?
Hey there, can you please tell me?
What it feel like?
Hey there, can you please tell me?
Greetings I bring from Yah to all those now tuned into Ajah's Updates, where we come through the headlines and current events to check the temperature on how we feel about what's going on in this crazy world we're engaging in. And this is a platform to let your voices get heard by leaving comments and getting it off your chest. For real, leave them comments if you know how far it goes down them rabbit holes. Don't be shy, but do it in love so we can edify the brethren. Like iron sharpening iron, so we can all leave here feeling enlightened and inspired, you dig? But first, let's check on the popularity for the leaders of the old school. To start off, let's take a look at the status quo's favorite grandpa, Joe Biden, aka President Magoo, aka President Fire Marshal Bill, aka Crime Bill Joe. The Democratic apparatus is not big on reading the room and are fully convinced in their group think tank minds that Joe is the chosen one. But it's kind of hard to concentrate on campaigning for re-election when people from their base are screaming for Joe to keep it moving because life's not improving. The base wants primary challenges and to entertain other options. But the party elites trying to tell their base like Kendrick, this ain't what you want, this ain't what you want. Being that we're having conflicting priorities. People here are seeking criminal justice reform. They're looking for their abortion rights and then addressing why the cost of living is going up like Christmas trees after Thanksgiving. Really got people feeling like nothing's getting done, But on the contrary, mon frere, Joe Biden is getting a lot done. I mean, he got stuff he's been working on from long time, since 1997, finally coming to fruition. Stuff like this, take a listen.
Where do they go? I had one interesting comment. Our conversation with Zaganoff was repeated with Lebed. They talked about they don't want this NATO expansion. They know it's not in their security interests and on, and said, well, and if you do that, we may have to look to China. And I couldn't help using the colloquial expression from my state by saying to Zaganoff, lots of luck in your senior year. Good luck. And if that doesn't work, try Iran. I'm serious. I said that to them, and these were, and they know, I knew, they knew, everybody knows.
Just like that, BRICS was born. Thanks, Joe. American imperialism wasn't an agenda item on my mind personally, but here's to you for taking something I could care less about and bringing it to the forefront for me. You know what? Leave a comment if you feel any of your priorities have been addressed with the Biden presidential term, if you voted for Biden. I'm not here to judge who and how you vote, but I got a serious question for the people that was marching in 2020, uprising against racism, that it went worldwide at that moment. I know Trump wasn't giving off vibes that police brutality was going away with him in office, but why respond by electing this?
It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. Them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. It's a shame, but we don't know how to rehabilitate. But there is a consensus, and I will cease. A, we must make the streets safer. I don't care why someone is a malfactor in society. I don't care why someone is antisocial. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society, try to help them, try to change their behavior. That's why we do in this bill. We have drug treatment and we have other treatments to try to deal with it. But they are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our families.
Electing Joe Biden during that moment in history was like deciding you need a different babysitter than Pennywise to watch your kids, and then you ultimately go with R. Kelly. I mean, I really felt like we could have done better, you know? In the beginning of the 2020 primaries, I thought we were according to the will of the people and the popularity of Bernie Sanders. But Obama wasn't having that. He was watching the people gravitating towards Bernie's agenda tailored to the working class over the donor base. So he huddled up Pete Buttigieg and Amy What's-Her-Face and told them to get behind fifth place Joe. Collusion to suppress a movement. It's crazy. Speaking of collusion, Trudeau. His popularity wasn't improving with a snap election. Matter of fact, he lost seats, so he had to work around a disgruntled nation who wasn't fond of his tyrannical methods of governing and colluding with another political party called the NDP to merge and form a majority government in order so they don't have to obey its citizens. Because to them, it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. But going this route doesn't score that many popularity points with the cool kids. Don't believe me, then take a look what it's like to walk in Justin's shoes.
Ceasefire now! Look at us, Justin! You're killing kids! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Shame on you! You have blood on your hands! Call for a ceasefire! Call for a ceasefire! Look at us, Justin Trudeau! Answer for your crimes! You are killing kids!
Hey there, how you doing?
I'm not shaking your hand, bro. You're a piece of man.
Why is that, sir?
The entire country, you got our buddy over there.
Yeah, but how did I mess up this country?
Can anybody afford a home in this day? You're charging people carbon tax. You got 9
you know what we're
V8s
doing?
here idling
You know what we're
for
doing?
30
The carbon
minutes.
tax?
Your carbon
You know what
footprint is
we're doing with
increasing.
that?
We're getting charged for what?
You know what we're doing
It's
with the
not
carbon
stopping
tax?
no
We're
car-
putting a price on pollution,
Right.
and we're returning it to families like
I don't
yours.
think so. You're
We
sending
are.
it over
That's
to
a
Ukraine,
car-
right?
No.
Yeah. You send it over to the guy that you were with that slaughtered his own country.
You've been listening to Putin, have you?
Putin?
You gotta get off
No.
of that
Definitely
Russian
don't
disinformation.
listen.
I mean, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, resigned because she could read the room. The Prime Minister of Denmark, what's his name, Jakob Ellemann-Jensen, he resigned because he could read the room. Yet Justin Trudeau refuses to step down because of the taxpayer-funded 100-man security detail that got him feeling like our approval is irrelevant. He's really making it hard to root for this guy, man, for real. Speaking of people making it hard to root for, the New York Knicks, who recently fired Mark Jackson stemming from his prior working relationship with someone from his days as the Golden State Warriors head coach. I have my speculation as to why he was fired from being the head coach for Golden State, and it being nothing to do with his performance or rapport with his players. Matter of fact, his influence on the players seemed like an amicable one, being that they all appear to use their faith as a cudgel to amplify team unity under his leadership, with him being a man of God he was. Yo, check this out.
I don't know if you know, but faith comes by hearing. I don't know if you know, but the Bible says that we walk by faith and not by sight. So we walk by faith. Walk on what? Ain't no rules. There's no rules. You want to walk your dreams. You want to walk your desires. You want to walk your hopes. You want to walk whatever you want to do. God says we walk by faith.
Mark spoke prophetically in 2015 about his backcourt being the best shooters in NBA history. I mean, at the time, you probably could have laughed at it, but fast forward to 2023, as you can easily see, the man spoke no lies. Look at Steph being the all-time leader in three-pointers made, and Klay being on the all-time list, top 10, respectively. Mark's reign as a head coach had Steph feeling comfortable enough to write scriptures on his sneakers, you know? But my assumption is that the Bay Area's management wasn't feeling it, and they were more on that shut up and dribble timing. Hey, they still ended up being a dynasty regardless, but salute to Mark Jackson for giving them that spark by believing in them from the jump, and planting those mustard seeds of faith into those Splash Brothers, and for them taking it and running with it. It's just unfortunate that prior working relationships can still rear its ugly head and hinder progression, But as the saying goes, same levels, same devils. I'm feeling something greater is in the works for Mark Jackson, wishing him the very best, regarding his future endeavors. Trust me, brethren, you don't need them Knicks, man. So hold firm and never compromise. Backwards never and forward ever, you hear me? As for me, I'd rather be broke with God than rich without him, you dig? Consider yourself updated for now. Until next session, we link up. Spread love and walk good, you hear? God bless, family.